Hello again. I really miss reading to you stories from the Bible. Stories that tell us of God's love, God's power. Stories that tell us about Jesus, God's Son. But instead of reading one of those stories from the Bible, I'm going to actually share a message with you today. Because I'm sure that you have those children's Bibles at home, and hopefully you are having them being read to you by mom or dad or grandmom or grandpapa or even an older brother or sister. I'm going to talk to you today about the fact that we can pray wherever we are. Whether we're here at church, in the preschool, at home, in a store, at a friend's house, at a parent's house, at a grandparent's house, wherever we can pray. And you know, I've talked to you a lot about different things that we do when we pray. Like I talked about folding our hands. I talked about bowing our heads and closing our eyes so that we can focus all of our attention on God and not be distracted by anything else. But do you know there are different ways that we can position ourselves when we pray? And I'm going to read to you some of the different ways that we can position ourselves actually from the Bible, because the Bible teaches us that. The first position I'm going to read about is about what King David did, the greatest king that God raised up to lead God's people. The Bible tells us, then David went into the tabernacle and sat before the Lord. So when we pray, we can sit down. That's one thing that we can do when we pray. But there's another thing that we can do when we pray, and I'm doing it right now. I am standing up, and I want to read to you the Bible passage that talks about that. And it's actually Jesus who is saying these words. But when you stand praying, first forgive anyone you are holding a grudge against, so that your Father in heaven will forgive you. So you can stand and pray. Now for this next one, I'm going to ask you to do what it says Jesus did. So I hope you're all standing. If you're not standing, you can stand right now. And here is this next way to pray. And this is about Jesus as well. Now get ready and listen. Jesus went forward a little and fell on his face downward on the ground and prayed. Can you do that? I'm too old to do that, but I bet you can do that. Just kind of like fall on the ground. And that's what Jesus did when he prayed. And here's the last way that we can pray, at least the last way that I can think of. Jesus walked away, perhaps a stone's throw, and knelt down and prayed. Can you kneel? Can you get on your knees? And can you kneel down and pray? And Jesus prayed, Father, if you are willing, please take away this cup, but I want your will, not mine. There's also another thing that we can do when we pray. It's called the arans. We can lift up our hands high to the air, kind of resembling that we open our hearts and our minds to reach out to Jesus and to welcome him inside. Thanks for watching, and I'll have more messages for you in the coming days. Bye-bye.